This is not a video I thought I'd have to make. This guy right here on the screen apparently predicted Trump getting shot, right? There was an assassination attempt on Trump's life at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And this guy apparently predicted it 3 months ago. But he didn't. So let's dive in, y'all, because this is the kind of misinformation we don't want floating around. And, you know, I'm the channel to cover this, right? This is in our wheelhouse here. So, look, what we're going to do is take a look at this clip of this guy, short clip that's floating around of this guy, again, allegedly predicting Trump's assassination attempt. Then I'm going to show you the clip of Trump during this, okay, which is devastating, y'all, okay? This is devastating. Then we're going to take a look at a statement from Trump, right, afterwards. And then we're going to take a look at the full clip to give you more context about this guy right here, okay, to help you better understand the point I'm going to make in this video. Because, in my opinion, this guy did not predict Trump getting shot. Let's go. And I'm going to skip the usual like and subscribe and comment. Let's just get to this. All right. Let's play the clip. This is what's floating around everywhere.
All throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking. People say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning.
So we'll come back to the full context. It's basically only that first part. I even played a little bit more than what's floating around. But again, we're going to play the full clip at the end. All right. Now, when you first hear that, you think, oh my God. Wow, okay, that sounds just like what happened. But is it? Let's take a look at the rally, right? This is where, and viewer discretion advised here, okay? This is absolutely distressing, okay? There hasn't been an attempt on a former president or president's life since Reagan was shot in 1981, right? Because Trump is actually shot. Not close. He's shot. Okay? So we're going to watch this 2-minute clip here, okay? And we'll go from there. Because this is all the context. This is all the information. And again, I do want to say that someone did lose their life in the audience from this. So my heart goes out to their family. And there's 2 people, aside from that person in the audience, who were also shot and are being taken care of. No word on them yet. The shooter who shot Trump has also been neutralized. His identity has been shown. There's more information about that, but that's not what we're covering today in this video or on this channel or any of that, right? So I'm going to leave that to other news outlets. But this is floating around. This is definitely in our wheelhouse, right? Because this guy is predicting, right, that Trump was shot and whatever. So let's watch Trump's, again, viewer discretion here. It's a little disturbing. You may have already seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. And if you haven't, just beware. Here we go.
Comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
We ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage. There has been some kind of disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former president in a protective mode. The crowd has been screaming. They are standing by. You can hear some voices there saying, "Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?" We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out, that he may have been injured. He is holding up his arm. He is pumping his fist, but clearly Secret Service wants to get him out of this situation.
Okay. So, with that said, right? First of all, just so disturbing. But as you see in the video, Trump says, let me get my shoes. He pumps his fist afterwards, which I got to be honest, pretty amazing, right? I think that actually helped the crowd not go into a frenzy, if I'm being honest. So, regardless, look at the events of what happened. And remember what the guy predicted? How close actually was he to the prediction? And how close to a prediction do you have to be for it to be like revelatory, prophetic, right? Because a lot of people are spreading this video, which is why I had to address this. But again, pay attention to exactly what the guy said. Again, we're going to come back to that clip, right? The guy said he never got shot. He said Trump didn't get shot. It whizzed by his ear and busted his eardrum from the sound of the bullet. Right? But Trump actually got shot. Look right here. This is a statement from Donald Trump. I was shot. Literally the first 3 words from Trump's statement knocked that guy's prediction out of the way. I mean, we could move on from there. You say, Patrick, but it's so close. Is it? How close is it? Let's keep reading this. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. So it hit him. No eardrums were blown out. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. And thank goodness Trump was not more injured than this. I'll be honest with you. That is horrific. Because 1 inch over, and this is a different video. And thank God. Horrific that this would even happen. But even more horrific that now a bunch of misinformation is going to get spread like wildfire. And this is one of them, that this prediction happened. Right? Because then people start to believe this prediction, well, then you start to look at his other predictions, and then you get worried, and then you get yourself worked up. Again, decide on your own, but use your critical thinking skills here. How accurate was this guy? Again, how accurate do you need a prediction to be? And I've got some comments about people being prophetic. I'll get to in a moment. But just right here alone, we've seen evidence with our own eyes from the video itself that none of the things the guy said happened except for a bullet whizzing by. But a bullet actually hit Trump. His eardrum didn't pop. He didn't drop to his knees and start worshiping. Right? He was asking for his shoes. The Secret Service was trying to get him out of there. And then he was pumping his fist to the crowd. So again, it's barely there, right? Let's look at the full context of what he says, because he makes other predictions as part of this attempt on Trump's life, which, let's be real, lots of people have predicted that in many different ways, and it hasn't happened. So what do? Are we talking about all the ones that were wrong? right? How about all the predictions that this guy made that he was wrong? Does that count? Is that like your batting average? You know what I mean? It's like a broken clock is right twice a day scenario. He just threw something out and he got lucky, and now he's going to push it and other people are pushing it. But let's look at the full context of a bunch of what he's talking about, because this assassination attempt on Trump is embedded within a larger prediction this guy made. And again, even more predictions that as soon as you hear them, you'll realize there's no way Trump is doing this.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What the Lord has showed me about this eclipse is that he said, basically when I was praying a couple weeks ago, he said...
See, this is all about an eclipse, y'all, that happened. Remember the eclipse? This is all based around that. Let's continue.
He said, Brandon, I want you to watch Passover. For when Passover comes, there's going to be an acceleration of things, even more so from what it was from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. He said, but this will be a time of great acceleration. And he said, you'll see acceleration in the financial realm. And he said, you're going to see acceleration in the politics, and you're going to see acceleration in war. And he told me, he said, these things are going to, he said, for my son's return is imminent. And he told me this. He said, when this happened, when Passover, this time of Passover happened, there would be such a great, is almost, and he told me about weather. And he told me, he said, there'll be great temperature rising in Chicago, through New York, and some of the other areas up east.
You see, this is the problem. All right, this guy's saying that Jesus or God is talking to him, and you can just tell he's kind of making it up as he goes along, or half of it, right? Like, again, this is the problem with predictions. You just throw out like general things, right? There will be, unrest in the Middle East. Temperatures will rise, it will rain at some point. It's like, okay, right, just general things that are going to happen, have already happened, are currently happening, right? But it's on a spectrum, right? Now, granted, when you, again, viscerally just hearing, a bullet whizzed by Trump's head on an assassination attempt, what other kind of assassination attempt? Him choosing... I almost spoke Spanish there. Him choosing that a bullet would go after Trump is like, right? All assassination attempts on presidents have been with bullets. They've been shot at. Right? That's very typical. And the fact that it would whiz by somebody's head is also typical. Think about that. Whiz by his head. I mean, that's just such a general, easy prediction to sort of make. Again, how many predictions has this guy made that don't come true, haven't come true? Again, and you leave it very general. And you kind of see where things are going, and you just make that prediction. Make a prediction 10 years from now that's exact. Give me some details. Never details are provided. It's always very general to keep you, right, to be able to say. And then if you get a few things wrong, no big deal. You've moved on to other predictions, or they've changed, or Jesus told you something new, right, or whatever it is, God. So just be wary, all right? Yeah, I don't know how y'all are looking at this, and we'll be curious to hear the contrarian opinions to what I'm saying, if any.
He said there'll be record-breaking temperatures during this time frame. And he warned me about storms, long-track tornadoes, and for the body of Christ to take their authority over these storms, because they would be these tornadoes, they'll be the largest tornadoes we've ever seen in history, potentially, being long-track tornadoes. And then He said microburst. He was talking about 150 mile an hour, 100.
So God was like, these tornadoes are going to be the biggest things, potentially. This is so,
50 mile per hour winds would come out of these microbursts, and he was talking about taking authority over that and praying over that. But I just saw a great acceleration of things from Passover to Rosh Hashanah going into the fall, and that there would be through the United States. And then I saw you, Pastor Steve. The Lord said He was opening up major doors for you, more than what you realize, and that you are called more into the political arena than whatever you expected. That this would be a season of great promotion with open doors, and that you would go and you would start speaking at churches. And
this guy's like, sweet.
You would have an anointing on you like the old patriots.
You said you saw me as an old guy.
Yeah, but it was not necessarily an old guy. It was like a mantle of telling people in these old churches, like trying to reform America again, bringing back America. Because the Lord told me, He said,
that's not even close to an old guy. Do you see when the guy looked over, he's probably looking at a producer like, whoa, that's not the story we had. And then there was a cut there. You said I look like an old guy, right? Well, not necessarily an old guy, but you were talking in old churches. I'm sorry, what? Please, this is crazy, y'all. This thing that happened with Trump is for the history books. And I am a little worried about potentially what could come after this. So with that said, please, especially if you're in America, put your critical thinking hats on and really take in, more context for what's going to come out about Trump. Because there's no conspiracy theory here in the sense that Trump was shot. Now, the conspiracies are going to come from how, why, right, some of the detail, that sort of thing. But Trump was shot. There's no question about that. Millions of people have seen that. All right, there's no question. Trump's admitting he got shot. This happened. We saw it. All right, so, but use your critical thinking skills here. All right, for all the information that's going to come out about this, what's going to be used to gaslight you, right? Because again, information like this gets used to gaslight you about other things. Because you go, oh, he's right about this. Well, look what he said over here about X. That must be coming too. Let's prepare. Let's build a bunker, honey. You know what I mean? It can be a real slippery slope. All right? And please be careful. Just be careful out there. Try to wait till there's more information. For instance, during the Trump assassination attempt, as it was happening in real time, news was spreading about who the killer was. People were already hoaxing and pranking, and misinformation got spread. And people are still, even though the actual shooter has been identified, the other ones that were, people then started, well, maybe that is the real guy. Dude, it's crazy right now. Crazy. And I'm curious to see how the UFO community is going to take this and use it now moving forward, right? How is this going to be embedded? I guarantee you someone is going to say that this attempt on Trump's life was done to cover up that he was going to come out about aliens and UFOs, right? There's my prediction, right? And what am I basing that on? Probability, right? And it won't be, oh, well, see, I told you so. I could be wrong, right? But I don't know who's going to do it. But we know that's going to happen. Let's be real. If I'm wrong, thank goodness. But so many conspiracy theories, I mean, they're already floating around on Twitter about everything. Who knows? But this guy did not predict Trump getting shot. Okay? Let's skip ahead here to where he's talking about Trump again.
And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking. People say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and there things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting, and then there will be a great economy crash. Yeah. I saw they had a great economy plan, a crash. Yeah. Worse than the Great Depression. And the Lord warned me about this. It would be a great dark time. But I saw paddles coming upon America's soil like a shocking of the soil. And I saw Donald Trump praying in the office of the Oval Office. And he was weeping before the Lord with his hands on his head like this, but he was weeping. And there was ministers and people. I don't know if they were senators or Congress people or whatever. I just saw them pacing and back and forth inside of the White House. What is the White House? But it's the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were interceding all inside there, and I could feel the presence of the Lord so strong on this. And then I could see that darkness that was the heaviness upon America with the financial crisis of what I saw coming. It started to lift above the trees, and I saw the blue and the things coming back out, and the green times and the good times coming back again. But the Lord said it would be forth a time of a season of a shaking, and it would be a shaking to awaken. And in this, this would basically that He was not done with America. There would be a great revival come, and it's not all doom and gloom. That's what He said. The sky's not falling.
You literally just said the sky's falling and doom and gloom is coming. Okay, this guy's a joke. Sorry. So Trump will be weeping in the Oval. Again, look how many predictions he made. Right? And some of them just very general. Some of them, symbolic, right? When he meant old age, what other things did he get wrong? What other parts of his prediction are off, right? Does that make sense? It's like, again, I just, look, people are going to believe what they want to believe. You're going to make your own decision. Just be careful if you're going to believe this guy and what he's saying. Think about all the other predictions he's gotten wrong. Right? It's just one video. They make all kinds of predictions. They're three prophets, right? Look, the Bible says there will be no prophets. Right? There will be no speaking in tongues. Once the Bible was completed, speaking in tongues was no longer necessary. Right? That's what the Bible tells. Right? Because the Bible wasn't around. So speaking in tongues, there was other things that the Holy Spirit, after the day of Pentecost, sort of enacted that would show people evidence that, right, there is a God. But once the Bible was done, it was like, oh, well, we don't need to do that stuff anymore. We and that's in the Bible. Right? In fact, they say false prophets. So, do what you will. Again, my heart goes out to the people injured at the rally, especially to the family of the one deceased person. And all I'll say, and to Donald Trump for surviving. I mean, it's just crazy situation. Okay. But just be careful of the information that's going to go out and the misinformation. And don't get yourself all worked up for nothing. Let the dust settle. Let's wait and see what facts come out. And if anything, now's a time to unify, not divide more. So be wary of anyone pushing division, pushing, oh, the Democrats, oh, the Republicans, oh, the left, oh, the right. We don't need that. We've never needed it, but we definitely don't need it now. So take care of yourself, take care of your family, and remember, every day's a gift, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Got an awesome episode for y'all tomorrow. There's some balloons to celebrate. All right. I got an interview with Brandon Fugel, from Skinwalker Ranch coming tomorrow, along with a very special guest along with us that's going to reveal for the first time ever their experience. And Brandon's never heard it either. It's a friend of Brandon's. So I'll save that reveal for tomorrow. All right, y'all. Be good. Peace.